Good morning, my friends. This is Brother Tony coming to you again today. It's good to be with you here, and as you can see today, I'm on the road traveling to work, and I have quite a meandering drive, quite a few miles that I drive to work one way every day, and lots of good time to spend with the Lord and pray and things, and I just enjoy that drive, and I hope that you get a similar opportunity every day to meet with God. If you don't take the time to meet with Him each day, then you're doing yourself an injustice. Now, I'm no better than you or anybody else that's listening out there to me or watching me today, but I learned a long time ago that there's value in spending time with God. We've got to spend time with Him. I wanted to talk to you today. I was reading earlier about one of the toughest things that we could ever do in our life, one of the very toughest things that we could ever do. And some people might say, well, you know, it's this or it's that, but I'm talking about Christian things. And a lot of you that are watching this video say that you're a Christian and you're very proud of that fact and try to live a good life and all those things. But gosh, don't we live in a tough world today? Don't we live in a world that is just so crazy? We run into all types of things every day that is just, I'm just really taken back by some of the things that people are accepting of and some of the things that goes on in our modern day society and all those things. But let me tell you, Jesus said in Matthew chapter 5 to love our enemies and to pray for them that would despitefully use you. You know, it is very difficult to pray for our enemies. It's difficult to pray for them that would come up against you because, and you're thinking about somebody right now, guarantee it, that you just don't like. And there's people out there, folks, that we just don't like. I mean, don't lie to yourself and others and say, well, I'm a Christian, I love everybody, because that's simply not the truth. You love their soul, but there's people out there you just simply do not like. There's people out there, personalities clash, people come up against you, and the problem with us today is we're like an elephant a lot of times. Our memory is what kills us. It kills us. But I tell you, when somebody comes up against you and when somebody does something wrong against you and hurts you tremendously, don't hang on to that. Give it to God. Pray for your enemies. Pray for those that would come up against you and do you wrong and do you bad and all of those different things. Folks, we got to pray for those people. You know, that's the very reason why a lot of Christian people today cannot get the true peace with God that He wants you to have. We just simply won't give every aspect of ourselves to the Lord. And one very important aspect is learning to pray for our enemies. Now, also, our enemies today is not only people that would rise up against you, but let me just tell you this, it is enemies from within our own mind, the enemy of carnality, the enemy of the carnal mind, the sinful nature of man. Every day you should be praying, God, keep me from sin. Help me to make good decisions. Now, God influences your decisions. He does. He influences those. But at the end result of our decision lies us. We decide what we do every day. You decide if you're going to think badly about somebody else. You decide if you're going to talk mean or abusive to your spouse or be abusive to somebody in your life. You make those decisions. God doesn't do that. God influences decisions in your life. He influences good decisions. So today, let me tell you, a lot of people, as I get older, let me say this, as I get older, there's a lot of new words that are out there that simply was not around when I was a child and a young adult. And one of those words is frenemy. That's kind of a funny sounding word to me because it's odd. Frenemy is simply a friend and enemy put together. And a lot of us today, instead of getting the sin out of our life and praying for God to deliver us from the enemy of sin in our life, I'm talking about consistent sin, whatever that might be. It might be anger issues. It may be something that needs to be got out of your life. Instead of praying for God to help us make good decisions, to remove that ongoing sin from our life, the enemy of sin, somehow we become friends with that, and it becomes a frenemy. And let me tell you, when we're doing that sin, it's our friend. But when we're living in remorse and living under conviction, that sin becomes our enemy. Therein lies the struggle. The book of James says a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. You cannot have frenemy with sin. You just can't do it. So the Bible says to love our enemy. Now, I'm not saying to love your sin. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying today, Jesus walked among sinners without sin. And today, you have to live in this world. You may have to live around the very things that are triggers to your sin, or the very things that enable you to keep sinning or doing the same things wrong over and over again. It may be in a marital relationship, something your spouse may not be a Christian. He or she may do things every day that draws you in and entices you to sin. I'm not saying today you've got to leave your husband or your wife or anything like that, but I'm saying you can live among this world, among the enemy of sin, without doing it. Today it's very, very difficult to do that. Don't be a frenemy of sin. Get sin out of your life. Pray that, because you know what sin does? It despitefully uses you. Sin will use you. The devil uses you today to just destroy not only yourself, but other people around you. So today, pray that God would deliver you. Pray for your enemies. Pray for those that would come up against you, and pray for the enemy of sin in your own life. This is Brother Tony. God bless you today, and we'll talk to you soon.